So yeah, it's been a minute since I've actually done like a fully, kind of involved, how should I put that? Like, actually gone through a whole topic with a video, and that reason is because I'm starting to experience like a lot of like mixed messages, and it seems like I'm feeling more free, like technically the problems and issues I was having are in a way solved, and like I see how things are improving, but like it's happening really slow. But it's not a matter of like figuring out what to do, it's just like it getting done at this point. So yeah, so with that, I guess I'm hoping that, if I share what I've figured out, then it will accelerate the process, even though I am kind of enjoying the not having to really, be confused or lost about, I'm kind of just like watching stuff happen now, but, which is what I've always been doing, but, like, knowing who I am in that. So, what I want to, explain and get across in this video is, so what I figured out with the instinctual variants from the Enneagram, so if you try to read online, like off the bat, like what each thing's supposed to be, first up, there's like a few main concepts that are misconstrued and like just, okay, so the big thing is how they try to say like it's like your first instinct is the one you like focus on so much that you keep it from happening. And what I'm learning more is like that is more of like the self-fulfilling prophecy that's like what they're explaining with like the North Node in astrology. When in reality, it's kind of the case that it kind of appears true because whatever you're going after first is more difficult because you have like a higher calling to it. Like, or, you're more set, you have a higher standard is what it is. You want that instinct fulfilled to a higher degree than people that have the instincts in like the other two slots. And so, and then the middle one, which, let me say what the three are again, just, for this video. If you're watching this and for some reason you haven't, like seen that before, I'm not, the way I said that could be taken condescending, but more like, I'm just expecting that if you've, I guess people could just come to my video and see it first, but, with the way I'm planning on titling it and everything, you're probably going to have seen it before. But, like, So, like, yeah, there's the self-preservation instinct. It's basically dealing with you making sure that you have everything that you need to survive. And, like, people that have that first are going to be making, like, a lot of, plans towards, like, making sure they have everything in place, for survival, like, the rationing, the food, like, the place to live, all that kind of stuff. And, if you have it first, it's like you want that on a higher standard that even, it, like, it's like the first one is the thing that can make you kind of like intolerable if other people haven't accepted that, like, there's a need to have that occupied to that level. Actually, or there's a benefit or something more that can come out of that. But I will say that the people that have it second tend to be a lot more grounded in what's happening right now, as far as that instinct goes. So. And I'm pretty positive now that I've seen, like, how you actually differentiate them, that I am, definitely SXSO. So, like, for, like, social situations, it's like, I was thinking that I might have that last because, because of my experience with going into social groups and not kind of fitting in or whatever with that. But what I've realized is that it's not that I don't know what's going on in the social situation. Like, the reason I'm so nervous is because I'm so aware of what's actually happening with it. And, like, I can't say or do anything based off of that because of other people not addressing it. So, like, so it's more me not placing myself in the right group the way that a social first person would. Like, they'd be afraid to even put themselves in that situation, to take the chance to even be there to experience that in the first place. And the one that I'm wanting the higher standard of, that it seems like I'm not acquiring it because, like, I'm wanting it on a higher level than the people around me. Like, I have to do all the stuff to make this special version of it happen or whatever, is the SX. So, like, I'll put off, like say, like, you're going to, like, a theme park or something like that. I want to eventually be able to, like, fly and, like, be able to have, like, all these abilities and, like, be able to, like, really get in those moments, like, all the time, constantly. So I don't want to risk dying, on a roller coaster before I get to do that. And that's an example of how you can still be, you still use the SP, and that's what I want to cover, as well as the cycle. What I was speaking about, like, in the last video, how there's the two flows and the two directions it goes in, it relating to the like the houses, and how you can utilize that. So so like I said before, like, the first through the fourth house is self-preservation. So if you're following the you know, SX, SO, and then SP, and that's last, which the one that's last, by the way, is the one that you ignore, or, you know, other people see you as ignoring. It's more like, because it has to go through the first filter, the first two filters, it narrows down your criteria for the, for that. So, you know, it's like, you know, first priority, you know, I'm wanting to make sure that I am able to have that bond and intensity. And then, you know, then it becomes, okay, so because since I'm then wanting to be able to make sure that I can, you know, have that, then, you know, which groups do I need to get into? You know, and then when you get to that second one, that's the one that people look at realistically, you know, like what is happening in the world right now that I have to do to make sure that the first one happens. Okay, and then the last one, it's like, okay, so if I'm trying to go into these groups to have that happen, how am I going to survive to make sure that that happens? You know, so that's like an, you know, an SXSO, you know, SP thing. But the thing is, it doesn't stop there. It goes around. It's a flow. It goes back to the beginning again. And I want to make sure that this doesn't stop while I'm recording and delete it. So I'm going to stop it right now, make the next section.